Good evening, YouTube. Good evening to all of you in YouTube land. My name is Robert Alvarez. I'm also known as Robert Alvarez the Psychic Witch, and on my YouTube channel, Mr. Lighting and a Fan. And yes, I have lighting over here, I have lighting over here, and I have the fan right here. How you doing? I love saying that. I really do. Well, YouTube, right now the time is approximately 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And the date is Monday, September 20th, 2021. It is the night of the full moon in Pisces. I want to talk a little bit about this full moon first, and then I'm going to go to the main topic of this video. So, one of my favorite magical authors is named Raven Caldera. Caldera happens to be the Spanish word for cauldron, but his caldera is spelled with a K as opposed to a C. So, what Raven Caldera did was he did this meditation, and he asked all of the goddesses and gods to claim a planet and sign combination. And interestingly enough, even though I haven't read or worked with this book in a long time, I remember virtually every one of the deities that claimed a lunar placement or a moon sign placement. For example, Moon in Aries was claimed by Artemis. No. Moon in Sagittarius was claimed by Artemis. I don't remember who claimed the Moon in Aries placement. Moon in Taurus was claimed by no, not by Oshun. I forgot the Moon in Taurus one as well. Damn it. Moon in Gemini, however, was claimed by Iris. Moon in Libra was claimed by the goddess more commonly known as Isis. Moon in Scorpio was claimed by Hecate. And the moon in Pisces was claimed by Imoja, also, which is the Afro-Brazilian pronunciation of Yemaya. And what I love about this is that, first of all, it makes perfect sense because remember, of all of the symbols of the Western zodiac, the one that one would be most inclined to find in an ocean is the fish, namely Pisces. Not to mention the fact that Yemaya is the Afro-Caribbean goddess of the ocean waters. And she is a full moon goddess. So when the full moon is in Pisces, it is a wonderful time from a myth-astrological perspective to work with Yemaya. And of course, Yemaya has been on my mind a lot lately because I had the honor and pleasure of participating in a Mother House of the Goddess offering with Red Priestess on the altar offerings for Yemaya and Oshun, which was during the first full week of this month. One of Yemaya's festival dates is September 7th, and one of Oshun's festival dates is September 8th. So those dates tend to be especially sacred to me, even though I don't remember all of their festival dates, because a lot of deities have a lot of festival dates. Off the top of my head, Oshun, Yemaya, the goddess more commonly known as Isis, and Hecate and Caradwen all have multiple festival dates. So they don't just have one, they have several. But anyway, so what I wanted to talk to you about was how things went for me on the more personal side last weekend at Notions and Potions. Now, some of you know that I had some significant health issues earlier this year. They have pretty much been all but rectified. And when I say all but rectified, there are a few things that are still need to be addressed, and they're being addressed. They are being addressed. In fact, one of the things that I often do the day after I return from offering sessions at Notions and Potions is nothing. Usually Monday is the Monday after I return is the day that I do nothing. I don't offer readings, I don't make phone calls, I don't send emails, I basically stay at home, I take naps, I watch videos, I read, I spend time with my journal, I take more naps, but it is usually a day where I do virtually nothing. I use it to fully decompress, I use it to rejuvenate my complete being, I use it to recharge my energetic batteries, and I use it to just really restore myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But I did not have that option today, simply because I needed to go to a very important doctor's appointment. Although, for the record, all of my appointments with doctors are important, and they've always been for me, especially since 2017, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say 2016, but more so 2017, my appointments have become much more important. And the fact of the matter is that certain questions arose for me, and certain situations I wanted to have addressed as of last Thursday. So I knew that keeping this doctor's appointment was especially important. So I wanted to make sure that that was the case, number one. And number two, it also gave me the opportunity to really reconnect with people I hadn't seen in a very long time. So that made me happy. And it also reminded me there was a promise I forgot to keep, so I'm going to make sure that I keep that promise when I go to my next appointment next month. Yes, because I said to myself, I'm going to keep this promise, and I forgot about it. So, and they're reminding me now. Why they're reminding me now, I can't do shit about, but still. So, walking was definitely easier. Carrying bags was relatively easier. I had not planned on carrying 4 bags at one time. But the fact of the matter was that there were certain things that I was not able to take care of in time. I think I've mentioned to you that in addition to Drake being my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, he's also my amazing computer tech person. And there was a tablet that I was going to have in my possession, ideally prior to this trip. That did not happen. And the fact of the matter is that I needed to take my laptop. And I needed to take my laptop with me in the store in the event that I had video readings taking place while I was physically in the store. So I could not leave my laptop in my hotel room, nor could I leave it in my home, in my apartment. So it had to come with me. And that was okay. It wasn't a big deal. But when the other 2 bags and my laptop were in my luggage, let's just say that I had a bit of an incident where I kind of slid, or as I was carrying the luggage up to the bus, I kind of slid down. I didn't fall down. Somebody stopped me in time. A really big woman stopped me. She was like, "You're not gonna fall." I'm like, "You got that right." Do not think that women are not the weaker sex. Women can make it happen, man. If they can lift a guy, if they can make sure a guy as big as me does not fall off a small flight of stairs, a woman can do anything regardless of her size. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube land, and outside of YouTube land. So this woman was like, "You are not falling." Like, you got that right. Walking was definitely easier. The physical therapy that my left leg and left foot needed has made a huge difference. And I've also resumed using the pedal bike. I'm also doing, I think they're called ankle circles, where you basically like rotate your foot in one direction and then you rotate it in the opposite direction. So I will say that it is easier for me to do it with my right foot than my left foot. But I'm practicing, which is very important. I might actually need to like do something like this where I just do the, ooh, that feels good. I'm rotating it with my hand and I'm like, ooh, that feels really good. Wow. Talk about massage on the go. I'm telling you. So all the worries and concerns and fears I had about traveling by myself definitely were dispelled. I definitely need to take less with me next time, because I really had not planned on bringing all but 3 of my Levenger bags. So that was not intentional, but it just became more convenient to bring 3 of my, how many Levenger bags do I own now? 6, 7? I think I own 7 at this point. I'm only remembering 3 others, so I might actually have 6. But I could swear that there's a 7th bag. Let's see. My 2 Oxford totes, my Charles satchel, my Charles tote. It's actually called the Charlotte tote, but I call it the Charles tote because Charles is the masculine form of Charlotte. There's my carry satchel. There's the berry-colored Oxford tote. There's the Saint-Tropez leather tote. There's the Oxford book bag in purple. By the way, the Oxford tote is the Oxford book bag 2.0. Yeah, so yeah. I actually am long overdue to do an Instagram post where I display all of my Levenger products. And there's actually one that I'm looking for that I have not been able to find yet. But once I do, I will definitely include it in the Levenger photo spread. I'm actually going to use my bed because I have so many Levenger products that they will comfortably fit on my bed. You know, but I'm not going to do like Demi Moore did in oh, I forgot the name of that motion picture where she's literally laying on a bed of $1 million. I'm not going to do that. Because, you know, as soft, as buttery soft as the leather is, it's not ideal for like laying on. And I wouldn't do that to my Levenger bags anyway. You know, they're too priceless. Anyway, so with that being said, there really wasn't anything else. There weren't any issues that arose for me medically, physically, physiologically, anatomically, with regards to traveling on my own to a place that's not around the corner. So that made me really happy. And of course, it made my one of my main doctors happy to see how much I've progressed physically and how much I've improved physically. So that made me especially happy. Interestingly enough, this doctor was wearing a beautiful purple shirt. It was actually a little bit deeper than lavender, but he was wearing this rich royal plum colored tie, and it looked like this deep rich amethyst color. And it was so funny because as soon as he walked in, I said, "You're wearing the color I normally wear." Because the last few times that I went to this hospital for doctor's visits, I was wearing purple. But, you know, in spite of the fact that I no longer lead Great Goddess circles, virtually every color I wear is a lunar color. And this is no exception. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube land. There really wasn't much else to report. I was just very happy that physically I was able to do what I needed to do and to be able to do it on my own without somebody accompanying me, without a cane, without anything else, and yeah, all that other good stuff. So, as always, thank you to all of you in YouTube land for honoring who I am and what I do. Thank you so much for honoring Notions and Potions and Catland Books and All We Do Too. Thank you to all of you who had readings with me, as well as thank you to those of you who had other sessions with me this past weekend. Thank you to all the wonderful people who purchased merchandise at Notions and Potions. Thank you to all the people who had sessions with me at Notions and Potions. Thank you to the hotel staff who took excellent care of me and my room. Thank you to those of you whose eateries at which I dined, either in or to go or for takeout. And thank you to all of you who took wondrous care of me in between. And I must include the Metropolitan Transit Authority because they took excellent care of me as well. And I think I covered everybody. And of course, thank you to all of you in YouTube land for the likes, the comments, the shares, and the subscriptions. Thank you to those of you who have scheduled your sessions. Thank you to those of you who are scheduling your sessions, especially this week. And of course, thank you to all of you who have bought me a coffee. Enjoy tonight's full moon in Pisces vibrational energy. Enjoy the lustrousness and the wondrousness of Imoja. Have a great week and stay tuned for the next video.